This is thirsty work, this television. I'm so glad we rehearsed this, Paddy. I really am. Listen, that's great. Before we get into this, let me just, very important stuff here. News on the horse. News on Tonto's horse. Nice English gentleman called us. He said, tell Marty that it says in the official Lone Ranger book that Scout is the name of Tonto's horse and put us all out of our misery. You and me both, sir. Peter Meehan was on from Merchant Square in Dublin. Yeah, right. About Tonto's horses. Tonto's horse was definitely called Scout. The Lone Ranger used to say, hi-ho, silver away. Tonto used to back this up with, get up, Scout. And then they rode off hand in hand into the sunset. No answer to that. And Mario Shea finally in Tipperary says, she has the Guinness Television Encyclopedia by Jeff Evans, and in it there's a section on the Lone Ranger and his loyal companion Tonto, who rode a horse called Scout. So that's great. So thank you very much. We will pass the information on to the fellas at the Soreheads. And there's no prize, sadly. But maybe we should pick one out and give somebody a prize. Maybe next Monday or Tuesday or something. Would you like some coffee? No. Now, what we're doing now, and by the way, our Malta competition is coming up, so that's coming up in a moment. Paddy, you're very welcome. Thank you, my friend, for joining us.
Marty.
I should stress today that you're dealing with, before I get into that, can I just mention the fact that when Paddy brings in creatures, exotic ones, calling birds, goats, whatever they happen to be, we get a reaction, but never as great a reaction as when you bring in a dog or a cat. It's incredible.
It is, yes.
This seems to be the best reaction we get.
Yeah.
This fella's thirsty. I think he's all right now, though.
Yes, well, he's been a hard-working pup. He's been on the circuit last year, and he's the pup of the year.
He's the pup of the year.
Yes,
He's a big pup.
in the 32 counties, which is a big, big privilege.
He's an English pointer.
He's an English pointer, yes, and he had to win a championship show as the best pup in the show.
Right.
And there are 22 championship shows, and all the winners of those shows, the puppy winners, go forward and they're judged against each other. And Herwin Bitter-Lemon is his name. Right. However, he's called Schweppes.
Schweppes.
Yes.
And in terms of the training and the breeding of these guys, is it very difficult? I mean, a beautiful coat. Look at it, absolutely perfect.
Well, no, and it's fairly routine. If you treat them normally, if you have the stock there, and they can produce the goods if they're good enough. It's a bit like, to a certain extent, you can say it's a bit like horse breeding. You know, you breed the best with the best, and you hope for the best.
What do they look for, Paddy?
Well, the typical standards for a dog, like Schweppes here now, he has to have a good carriage, fine head. He has to have a very pronounced stop, very long stop here, and the tail has to be carried properly. And when he's walked, he has to stride out correctly. Right. And he has to be able to stand up and show his hocks in their proper stance.
Yeah, don't eat that. That's a microphone. It's not paid for. Go on.
And his bite has to be perfect.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that he is a biter or anything like that. However, he has to have a proper bite. And these points are all judged by experts. And they run the pups off against each other, and then they boil it down from the 22 down to a small number. And of course, they're all judged in private. While I have to be physically present as the vet at the show. I don't have anything whatsoever to do with it. However, in the event of, say, an accident happening, if two dogs got into a bit of a rumble and one got injured, well, then we'd have to...
Wouldn't you be qualified to judge one of those, Paddy? You're not called upon, no?
No. And the judging is completely different from veterinary. Like, I'll be dealing with the healthy animal and the pathological conditions associated with the animal, whereas the judges will be dealing with the finer points of the breed requirement.
I see.
And they would be experts in their own field.
Now, that's his nibs. And just to finally wrap this up, would you like a drink? We should get a bowl in, lads, and give him a drink of water. Poor fella, the heat's probably getting to him. One thing to say just before we move from Schweppes, and that is the fact that you have a winner here and a healthy and happy pup, and obviously a healthy and happy pup here, does it carry through then that if the same care is maintained that you'll have a fine, fit and happy adult?
Should all right, yes. However, like, pups can mature properly and they can go on to do big things in the ring. They can also deteriorate as well, so you never really can tell. Besides, judging is a very subjective kind of thing. What I might regard him as a beautiful specimen and a champion dog. You might be judging next week at another show. You might think that another dog has better qualities than him, so it is fairly subjective kind of thing.
But does the fact that he has won this prize mean that his offspring could command a higher price in the years to come?
There is that chance. It's
not a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee, no. And again, the classic one for this is horse breeding. Like, you get Derby winners, bred with Oaks winners, and they throw rubbish.
That's right.
And you can see the dearest pedigree, the $13.25 million yearling never even saw a race course.
That's
So
right.
you never really
As
can
you
tell.
said, there's no guarantees in this. Now, we want to move from Schweppes over here to this huge big white pussycat. We used to have a white cat at home called Oscar, This is a white pussycat. Tell me the story with a sad story, really.
It is a sad story.
Because it is a miracle cat.
Yeah. Well, it's from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
Schweppes is a lovely story, whereas poor old Rumpelstiltskins here is not such a... Yeah, well, he's lucky now, but it was actually be a fortnight, I think, tomorrow. My partner, Kevin Glynn, was on duty, and he was called out to this dreadful case where a crossbow bolt was actually shot at the cat. There, that's the bolt.
You have it here?
And it went in as far as that into the skull.
As far as your finger here?
Yes, yes. And
just hold it at an angle.
dreadful,
Good man.
dreadful.
But I take it this is an accident, or can I?
We don't know.
We don't.
We don't know. And
Into the skull,
into the skull, yes. The poor old cat was concussed, and Kevin had to take him back and anaesthetise him and remove it from literally the skull. And the cat was unconscious nearly for 24 hours after it. And
you're thinking that
very badly traumatised.
Yeah, you're thinking the cat's deaf.
Yes, the cat has blue eyes, and we've checked the ears and we've checked the hearing reflexes, and there isn't any. So it's a genetically linked thing where the eyes are blue, they're normally deaf.
Now, why? And they'll ring up in their thousands and rightly so. Why is the cat in the cage now at the moment?
Well, the cat was an entire wild tomcat.
Anyway.
Yes, and we neuter the cat and we've treated it for worms, and we've deloused it and defleed it. And we're going to see if we can get a home for it. It's not going to be an easy one to place because of the fact that it is a wild cat, and it'll take a lot of, coaxing and, excuse me, watch my flex, please.
And is she very... and is she very... Right, Schweppes, you're among friends. And is she a troublesome piece of work anyway?
Well, nervous.
Yeah,
when they're...
Now, particularly.
Yes. Well, she is improving, or he is improving,
because
he's being handled a little bit more. However, we have to be very careful in handling a cat like that. Normally speaking, where they're deaf, they do not like being caught by the back of the neck, so our nurses are grooming him, and they're being very gentle with him, and he is improving. He's eating very well.
Do you come across much of this, Paddy, where people... Thankfully, I presume, not crossbows, but do you come across much of this cruelty?
Fortunately, nowhere near as much as we used to. The public are much more conscious and aware of things like this, and they would inform the proper authorities when it happens. And in this case, we'd have informed the guards and the DSPCA. And,
of course.
If we got the person who
that can't be traced, I suppose, no?
I don't think so, no. I'm sure the person who fired it wouldn't be willing to come forward anyway.
Don't you know it? Don't you know it? It's a great shame. But listen, thank you for bringing them both in today. I know the phones will happen. I just know it's automatic every time. Paddy, God bless you. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
And good luck to Schweppes and to Rumpelstiltskin. Now, what do we have to do? Yes, I'll tell you what we have to do. You may remember, of course you remember, that PM Live in conjunction with Delta Travel and the Malta Tourist Office organised a holiday for you. Now, that holiday was going on for a little while, and we're joined today by Jerry Bergen, who's the sales manager, sir. Is that right, with Delta Travel? You're very welcome.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you. I've got to tell you, it was one of the biggest responses we ever had to a competition on PM Live, so that's a very good sign for you and us,
exactly.
I hope to say. Now, the idea, as you know, is that we're going to fly 2 people out to wonderful Malta for 2 weeks. They're staying at the 5-star St. George Corinthia Hotel in St. Julian's, and you have told me this is the most wonderful hotel.
Well, if I could go myself, I'd be there in the morning.
It's a beauty, isn't it?
Absolute fabulous.
And let's face it, Malta is becoming more and more a destination that people really want to get to.
It is indeed. I mean, it started out 4 or 5 years ago, 1 flight per weekend. It's now up to 3 per weekend. So we've seen phenomenal growth over the last 3 to 4 years. And it's a very interesting destination. I mean, you have sun, but you also have a lot of history.
That's right.
People, you can enjoy both.
Yeah.
So
and
really
in terms of the quality of the hotel, when we say 5-star, you do mean 5-star.
I saw the hotel last November, and I can guarantee whoever the winner is that they will enjoy it. They will be pampered.
And there's golf there as well, isn't there?
Yes, there's
one. Everything we do in the golf, but
exactly.
I can't help myself now. But there is this golfing.
There is golf.
And presumably they have the pool and they have all the usual amenities.
They have 2 outdoor, 2 indoor, leisure centre. So, I mean, they can pick their pool by the day.
And you're getting dinners and breakfast.
They are indeed.
All there for you.
Top of the range.
Well, now we asked the question. The question was fairly straightforward, and we just wanted the capital city of Malta. I presume you know it.
I do indeed.
Thank God for that. What is it?
Valletta.
Valletta is the answer. Valletta. All you had to do was send us a postcard with all the usual information on it. We've put them all in here. I'm not convinced they're all right. If we pick out a wrong one, we'll just do it again. Will you do the business for me? You will?
I will indeed.
I'll just give it. This is very heavy. I have to tell you. Oh, gosh, this is very heavy this time. So, well done, and thank you all for taking part in this. So, the Malta holiday, they don't trust me at all. I'll let you put your hand in there and see what we get. If we get a phone number, we'll give it a call. If not, we won't worry. Answer, capital of Malta is?
Valletta.
Valletta. If you sent us in a card with Stephen's Green Centre on it, which you probably got for free, then you're the winner. Michael Byrne is the answer from Ballally Hill in Dundrum in Dublin 16. There is a phone number. Will you come over here with me for a second, Jerry? And thank you kindly for doing it. Come over, just sit yourself down there and get comfortable. We'll just try it and see if we can get through. We might just be able to say congratulations directly on the line. Okay, so let's see what we have now. So it's a Dublin number. So we hit that then, and we press 0. We have it all now. 2, and 3. I won't give out the number just in case, because you don't want to find out what the number is necessarily. Now let's see what happens. Okay. Oh my God, it's ringing. It's ringing. We could be in luck. We could be in luck.
2956930.
They will get an answer machine. I feel an answer machine coming on.
Hello?
Hello? Hello, is that Michael Byrne?
Sorry, it's Robert.
Pardon?
It's Robert, his son.
His son. What's your name, sir?
Robert.
Robert, how are you? Listen, I don't know if you're watching the TV at the moment, Robert.
Yeah?
Yeah. Are you watching the television?
No.
No, okay, you're on the television. It's Marty Whelan here from PM Live in the afternoon. Your dad, Michael, entered a competition to go to Malta.
Yes, he's here beside me.
Oh, will you put him on then, will you? Quick.
Dad.
Oh, no talking to the phone. Your mother isn't in, no? Your sister? No. Hello, Michael.
Marty, he's coming out here. He's watching you.
Where? Oh, he's watching the television.
You have a lovely
You
suit
see, a
on.
class act. You see, Jerry, a class act. You can't... Are you there yet? Is he there, Michael?
Hello.
Hello, Michael. Good afternoon.
Here you go.
Hello.
I hear you. Hey, am I waking up, Marty?
You're sleeping in front of the television.
I fell asleep, yeah. Not at your show.
Anyway, the truth will out. Listen, congratulations.
Thank you.
You have won our holiday to Malta.
Yes,
Who are you going to bring with you? It's not a dream. Hello, Michael.
This is a get up.
I'm absolutely, you're live on the television. I'm absolutely serious, and you've won a holiday to Malta.
I can see you.
Who are you going to bring?
I had to get up.
It's not a get-up. And you're live on television, so don't say something you might regret later.
Well, of course, has been my best wife, you know.
Absolutely, your
My
best
only
wife.
one.
Absolutely, Kathleen. Well, listen, on behalf of PM Live and on behalf of Delta Travel and Jerry, who's right beside me, the sales manager, we wish you well. You're going to have an absolute ball, we're told. And we're deadly serious. This is not a radio.
I don't believe it.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. Listen, enjoy the holiday, okay? And send us a card to bring us back a present.
My God.
I'm deadly serious.
Thanks,
we'll get someone in the office to ring you later on. God bless you.
Thanks a million.
Good man. That's
Bye.
Michael Byrne from Dundrum in Dublin 16. Isn't that lovely? And he doesn't believe a word of it. Jerry, many thanks and good luck to you and Delta Travel and indeed the Malta Tourist Office. And thank you for the wonderful competition. Really, a wonderful prize. And Michael and his lady wife Kathleen go and enjoy themselves. All right, we have a break to take. And then Alan Stanford will be here for a chat. He's not alone. He has a friend with him. We'll talk to them in a couple of minutes.